Stampin' friends. My name is Ayana Johnston and I'm a new Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Today I'm going to show you how to make this Stampin' Up! Howl-o-Ween treat skeleton card. You can get the supply list for this card on my blog at www.checkthisout.stampinup.net. And don't miss out on my new customer first order special. You'll get a $10 check in the mail from me with a minimum purchase of $100 retail. The offer ends September 15th, 2015, so be sure to stop by and get in on that special offer. Okay, let's get started making this card. Okay, for this card, you're going to need the stamp set called Howl-o-Ween Treat. It has some cute Halloween decorative things all over it, but today for this card, we're going to use the skeleton, the bone, and then the spider. Then you'll also need some framelits and thinlits. For the framelits and thinlits, we've got some beautiful new ones out there. We're going to use the Boo-to-You framelit, we're going to use the Lots of Labels framelit, and then you're going to use the seasonal frame thinlits. Okay, for our paper, we're going to need the following. You'll need a piece of pumpkin pie, cut at 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. Then you're going to need 2 sheets of our new black glimmer paper. Beautiful, new in our holiday card. You'll need 2 sheets cut at 4 by 5 1/4 inches. Then you're going to need a sheet of the Designer Series Brights pumpkin pie paper. And that sheet of paper is going to be measured at 3 3/4 by 5. Then you're going to need a piece of Whisper White, cut at 3.5 by 4 3/4. You're also going to need a piece of Smoky Slate. And the Smoky Slate, you're going to want to cut it at 3 inches by 4 1/4. Then you're going to need a scrap piece of Smoky Slate and a scrap piece of Whisper White for our skeleton and to stamp our spiders and to cut out our spooky. You're going to need 1 ink pad for this video, and it's the Stays On Black. You can use your other black inks, but I'll let you know the Stays On works the best because it's a nice, crisp, sharp black image. Okay, so let's get started cutting. First, you're going to want to run your black glimmer paper through your Big Shot using the Lots of Labels. And in the Lots of Labels, you're going to want to use the 2 largest Lots of Labels framelits. So you'll line up the large one just on the outside there. Then you're going to want to line up the smaller one just inside there like so. Then you're going to want to take this and run this right through your Big Shot. And I've already run this through my Big Shot. What that looks like you're going to have is this beautiful frame that's already cut out. And that's what we're going to want to use for our card. I keep this black glimmer paper for extra scraps as needed for my other cards down the road. So we'll set that aside. Then we're going to want to take our Smoky Slate and take our 3rd largest Lots of Labels framelit, center it right here, and then we're going to want to run this right through our Big Shot as well, which I have already done over here. So we have this already run through. You can use this for later. You can always cut out little itty bitty paper pack stars, punches, and stuff with that. So I always save that scrap. And now with this piece of paper, I'm going to take my Stays On ink, and I'm going to take a sponge, and I'm going to go ahead, get some black on it, and go around the edges with it. Now that makes a nice, cool look for the skeleton that will go on top of that. We'll set this aside. And now we're going to do one more cut using our Big Shot where we take our Designer Series pumpkin pie piece of paper and we take the 2nd largest framelit, Lots of Labels framelit. We take the 2nd largest, and we also take this and run it right through our Big Shot. Then you'll have this beautiful frame already set to go with some extra paper you can use down the road. You can set that aside. And then we have all of our framelit pieces ready to go too. So I'm going to set this aside so we can adhere it all down the road here shortly. Next, we're going to want to go ahead and stamp our images. So I'm going to go ahead and take my scrap pieces of Whisper White, my smoky slate, and I'm going to stamp the images that I need using StazOn. So I'm going to stamp my skeleton, and I'm going to use this wonderful piece of background here to stamp my skeleton image. So that way it comes out nice and crisp. And then we have the beautiful skeleton. Now there, I didn't stamp it as well, so I'm going to stamp it one more time because I made a little mistake, and I'm going to just flip it over. Make sure I've got it all stamped up, ready to go. It looks good. So my eyes are there as well. And then I'm going to stamp on and off. I have a much better skeleton now. Next, I'm going to go ahead and take the bones. Stamp my bones. And I just need 2 of them for this video. And there we go. Now I have them ready to cut out through my Big Shot. And I'm also going to what I'm going to do next is stamp my spider. And for this card, I made 5 spiders. You can make however many you want. You want more, you want less. And I meant to use my piercing mat because it comes out a lot crisper, much sharper image. You want to leave some spacing around those spiders so that way you have enough room when you're running the Thinlit through your Big Shot. So there I have all my cute spiders. I love them. Don't they look so cute? I don't like spiders, but these look adorable on this nice piece of paper. Then I'm going to take my framelits, and this spider framelit is from the Boo to You framelits. I'm going to use this spider framelit, and I'm going to run this through my Big Shot. Then I'm also going to take my other framelits from the same set, the Boo to You framelits, and I'm going to cut out my skeleton and my bone. And if you line it up pretty good in your Big Shot, you can run a bunch of these through all at the same time. In order to save time, I've already got these run through my Big Shot. So I have my skeleton, I have my bones, and I have my spiders. They're all set ready to go. In one of my cards, I even heat embossed the skeleton eyes. It looked kind of really cool popping out at you. Or you can use dazzling details as well. Next, you're going to want to take that scrap piece of smoky slate and cut out a spooky with your Big Shot. I have already cut out my spooky, so it is ready to go. So now I have all my pieces ready to go. I'm going to put my piercing mat aside, and I'm going to go ahead and put my layers together. The first thing you want to do is take your pumpkin pie sheet of cardstock base and fold that on the score line. Next, you're going to want to take your black sheet of glimmer paper. And what I do with this glimmer paper is, because I just want the edge to show on my card, I cut out a frame real quickly with my paper trimmer. And I cut out part of the middle, okay? I just eye it because I only need 1/4 inch on the outside. So I'm really just eyeing my paper trimmer cut. I just want to make sure I don't cut out more than 1/4 inch of the edge. But I need this inside of my card because it's going to help adhere the piece of paper down to the base. And then there you have it. I cut out this quick square. I'm going to keep this for some scrap down the road. And then I have my quick frame. I'm going to adhere this down. And I want some strong adhesive for this. So I'm going to go ahead and use my multi-purpose glue. It says mono liquid glue on there, but in in the catalog. That's what it says, the multi-purpose glue. We're going to adhere this piece down. And then if I have any excess off the side, all I'm going to do is take just a little piece of tissue and just wipe that off. You won't see it pretty soon. Okay. And there you go. There we go. Next, this gets a little tricky, so I'm going to adhere the black glimmer framelit to this. Now I'm going to take my Whisper White and I'm going to adhere this to my Whisper White. I want to make sure all this stays down. It could be a little fun trying to get that to stay down. I might have to add a little more monoadhesive glue. There you go. And now what I'm going to do is use this piece and I'm going to adhere some glue right in the middle. So this stays right along the edges and it adheres to the center because it's really hard, unless you're using Stampin' Dimensionals, to get the glimmer paper to stick to other pieces of paper. So we're going to center this just like so. Next, I'm going to adhere the rest of my pieces using Stampin' Dimensionals. I use my ink pen to stamp the bone, just one on top of the other. Now I'm going to stamp everything else real quick with Stampin' Dimensionals. And now I just have to add the spooky. I'm going to use the glue pen right here to adhere my spooky. And there you go, spooky card. Hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to check out my blog at www.checkthisout.stampinup.net for more ideas and for that first customer order special. Happy stamping!